Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with War 6 of this season, and D69 is taking on HCMA, or Magneto. And I do have a few friends in this alliance, so it was pretty nice to match them. And this is also the first Masters level alliance that we have faced this season. We faced these guys last season, and they actually beat us. So we need to have a good war. So I have the team today of CGR Moleman Quake, which was quite a weird one. Also considering one of the Quake fights took almost 4 minutes and I had suicides on. So I kind of just looked at the champs that I was going to be using for this war. And I decided that half suicides is what I want to go with. And we're going to just use that for all of our fights. So we're going over to Path 9, Section 1 here. And we have this Void with Cosmic Ghost Rider. I just cut it because it was really slow loading in. I use 6-hour boosts for the green boost in the health. We use 150% because I don't want to always be sent to L3, although I'm pretty sure I get sent to L3. No, yeah, I do. I get sent to L3 in both fights, so it didn't actually end up mattering. But this is the quote-unquote scary Void. Karate Mike lost his super long Deathless streak to this Void because he tried to use Anti-Venom, who is, like, fine. There's nothing wrong with that as a counter. It's just inferior, in my opinion, to the other counters. So the basic strategy here is get to your L2 without having your Dex activate, and then through the L3, and they're just dead. So pretty straightforward. Works really well. But the next fight is actually the fight that I was the most worried about for the entire war. It is a Knull. And the node that Knull is on, I don't think I actually show the node. So there's Hazard Shift here. There is, Insult to Injury and Feat of Indestructible 1 with Power Focus 1. So Insult to Injury plus Knull's Sig ability means that I will literally never be able to land a parry. So what I had to do here, I did a ton of duels to get the heavy countering spacing right. And I never, in the entire fight, not a single time, did I once land a heavy attack off of it. I did get one weird one where I, like, delayed a light attack, but he was already, like, standing up recovered, so he could have dashed back or dashed in and caught me, so I knew it wasn't safe. So what I did is I just charged a heavy attack, and I was just going to eat a combo if I had to. But what I did there is I intentionally did my medium attack first, and I did my light attack straight out of the L2, and I did that for a very specific reason, is that I wanted the more power. I wanted to get to an L3 instead of being at another L2, because if I'm at another L2 there, I don't have my Fate Seal still up, and the first hit pushes me over a bar of power, and then he goes indestructible because I didn't get my 5 judgments. So I got to the L3 by doing the adjusted combo. And here's actually something I wanted to talk about. But that Knull fight just went way better than I thought. So if you'll notice this screen right here, I have half health. So basically what happened is I went in and I clicked on the fight. And it didn't load in. So after about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I force closed. And I was met with this screen. Now, I never even got into the pre-fight screen to hit start. I was literally on this screen here, like walking up from Path 9, clicked on the node. The game took a minute and a half to load, and it clearly was not getting anywhere, so I force closed, and this. So, apparently that's a disconnect, even though I never even got the chance to fight. And it turns out this is a rank 4 Kitty Pryde on Power Snack, and I was sent here with Quake. This Kitty Pryde I thought was a rank 3 because it's actually not in his profile, which means it's not a Sig 200. Because I scouted it before I checked the guy's profile, He has no R4s in his profile, so he probably only uses like he probably only has like 2 or 3, and they're only like use champions. They're not champions with great prestige. And I mean, Kitty is good prestige, but it's not max sig. So basically the strategy here is to just full Quake style. And I didn't speed up this fight mostly because I'm going to skip through it like manually, but I kind of wanted to show just how quickly this fight changes from being like a normal Quake fight to being super janky and awkward. Because if you don't know the way that Kitty Pryde works, she gains a prowess every time she is stunned, and those prowesses, once she is 3, allow her to phase. What happens when she is phasing? A, she takes no damage, so no aftershock damage, and B, she's stun immune, which means that for the majority of this fight, I'm going to be doing no damage, and she's going to be stun immune, with me getting the odd combo in here, and it's actually going to get worse. There is about a minute period of time where every single stun doesn't stick. It's like literally 5 or 6 in a row. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch the whole fight, but basically the fight went exactly like this, except I got worse RNG on Kitty dashing back and choosing to dash forward at the exact wrong moment. And I actually had 1 or 2 times where I got 0 aftershock damage because the phase just timed up perfectly for all 3 of the charges, like the charges that do damage. So I'm not going to torch you. This is a really, really long fight. It's got like another minute to it. Here, I'll just play the rest of it. It's only 30 seconds more. But yeah, it was 3.5 minutes of this. So obviously, I guess not obviously, but Kitty Pryde is annoying to Quake. And on nodes where she can be stunned, it's even worse. But this was a perfect Quake fight. So clearly I would not have died to this fight. I mean, the first chance I had to go into the fight, I soloed it effortlessly with... Literally, there was 1 contact between us the entire fight, and the rest of the fight was perfect quaking, which was that 1 accidental parry you guys saw at the beginning. But yeah, as you see that little 2 icon there, that lost attack bonus. Loading into the fight. Or actually loading into the pre-fight screen, which is just incredible. I love that so much, Kabam. And this is a fight that was not assigned to me. This is Mordo on Mixmaster. But I needed to take my fights, and I waited like literally 3 hours, and the guy that was supposed to take it, he died in section 1, so he was just kind of like not feeling it, I guess, so he didn't want to do his fights. So I said, okay, don't worry about it, I'll get it. And I'm going to take this fight. Now, there's nothing actually wrong with Moleman versus Mordo. It used to be bugged so that your passive would count and it would give you a detonation effect. But that got fixed in the recent update. So basically the only real thing you have to worry about in this fight is the miss global. So once I bait that out, of course that's going to get activated by my decks as well as my unstoppables. So because of that, I was not able to cycle L2s very well. I only got 1 L2 off during Frenzy here. So that is going to make this fight a little awkward. But basically I just want to build to my L2. Keep an eye on the miss. So I see right there I decked. So the next special I bait, I have to do that. So there I did a heavy attack on purpose because I knew that the 1 hit always lands. And basically now I'm just trying to get enough charges, and here I noticed that the global is on cooldown. So despite the fact that this is a mystic, so I have to worry about mystic dispersion, I actually don't have to worry about it because of power focus 1, and while that does not affect power gain sources, it's just not going to be enough. But we do take that fight down relatively quickly. I do think there are better options. Archangel is a great option there. And the champ we had assigned was Falcon, who is also an incredible option. I don't think that would have taken much longer than Moleman did. In fact, probably would have been faster. But I just put a small potion into that fight. And you'll notice that I didn't actually show the footage of my disconnect Because I don't have it. Because after I disconnected, I stopped my recording. And for some reason, I lost about the last minute and a half of my recording, which is everything including me clicking on the node, hitting start fight, and then all the time I waited. It all got lost. I don't know how, but it's actually going to happen again in this war. It was not the only time that happened, because after that happened, I stopped my recording, waited like 2 minutes, and then I started up the new recording, which is the one you're watching right here, the one that started with the actual full 3.5 minute Kitty Pryde fight. And it's actually going to cut off a second fight off of the end of the video. I don't know why. I think it was because it was just a longer video. And also at the time of this war, I had not uploaded all my my Eternity of Pain solos. I uploaded 15 last night. Sorry for people that got spammed messages on Discord. I didn't really think about that. I forgot about it. But yeah, that was fun. And that was Ebony Maw on Footloose. Very, very easy fight. So the fight that you didn't see was Moleman versus Hitmonkey on Path 4, Section 2. I took it literally at the same time of that fight, but the recording failed as I clicked to the node right before Hitmonkey, so like the split in the middle, and then I clicked over. It cut at that moment, but I just cut it a little earlier. And my last fight of the war is this Sorcerer Supreme, so I still have my 6-hour boost on. At this point, I probably should have just gone to bed and taken the fight in the morning, because it was 11 o'clock and I worked 8 hours from then, and I had to be up 6 hours from then. 6.5 hours, actually. And this is Sorcerer Supreme. Oh, and I was just saying that I hope that that's not going to happen anymore with the videos being lost, because of the fact that I'm now able to delete. I'm now able to delete those 15 videos that I had on my phone, so which should hopefully clear some stuff up. So there are the Mist Global activates, and I did throw in an invulnerability because I was pretty sure I was going to be tanking an L3 in this fight. So we do trigger our Frenzy there. And I was considering trying to bait out an L2 here, but I remembered I had invulnerability, so I just went to parry. I had Frenzy, so I'm going to throw an L2. And this actually almost kills. And if I'd just thrown this L1, I could have actually just thrown it into the block, and my bleeds would have killed before the animation ended. But I wasn't really wanting to run any risks. I just wanted to eat the L3. Knew I had an invulnerability boost on. Now, if I didn't have an invulnerability boost on, that would kill me from 100% health, because Sorcerer has an insanely hard-hitting L3. That's actually the end of my fight. So we actually did end up losing this war with a score of 7-8. Now, unfortunately, we wouldn't have won this war even if my disconnect did not happen, because we actually had 149 diversity. So one guy in my battle group, BG2, he placed a dupe by accident. And even with my disconnect not happening, we would lose because of that. But if that hadn't happened, so no disconnect and we had 150 diversity, we beat them by literally 4,500 seconds in fight time. So I don't know what they were doing. Clearly they were, I don't know, like almost Corvus timeouts. Like they were taking a long time. Other than the two alliances that died over 100 times, I think HC Maw in this war is the longest I've ever seen an alliance take to clear a map as far as fight time goes. Against us personally, not like ever. But yeah, it was like weirdly long. I think it was over 11,000 seconds, and I think we were around like 8,300. I don't remember. I could be completely wrong. I just remember looking at the time at the end of the war and thinking that was like absurdly high. Like there's no reason it should be taking that long. Like if you were to use Void against like any single fight, sure it's safe, but it takes like 2 minutes every single time. And I'm kind of getting off topic, but we are now 5-1. We are resting in the 5th place spot. So the top 3 are currently GT40, XK9, and then due to our loss, New Nation slips into that 3rd spot. And then I forget who's in 4th, but we are in 5th. So if we win like our next 2 or 3 wars, we should be back in top 3 and have a shot at ending there. But again, that's completely dependent on our performance, and our performance in this war shows us that we didn't deserve top 3, because we cannot be dying 7 times technically, plus 1 disconnect. So we can't be dying 7 times if we want to make top 3. And this was just kind of just not the best war. So I still have 1 death on the season. Obviously, if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know that I do not count disconnect as deaths. Back when I was tracking everyone's fights in D69, I never faulted anyone for a disconnect. I would always just chalk it up as an anonymous alliance death, and I had like a special column for disconnects, and while they didn't affect anyone's stats, they did affect your overall average of deaths compared to the alliance. It's like a weird stat that I tracked. Probably pointless, to be honest. It didn't really show anything, but it was more so that the inputted deaths were equal to the deaths in war, which also doesn't make sense, but it made sense at the time, and if I was looking at it, I could probably explain it a lot better. But yeah, I've never counted them as deaths, and I never will, and while it is worth noting, it's like you just can't fault someone for that, because it's not their fault. The game is shit right now, and I have been disconnecting, doing duels, since the update. So, yeah. I don't know how that happened. That has never happened before. It's like literally the easiest thing that Kabam can do is let you duel one of your own champions in practice mode, and the game is disconnecting consistently during that. So, awesome. PSR is 38 out of 39, or 97.4%, not quite at 98. And my Deathless streak is up to 30, so it's like, it's fine. 30 is alright. And but it's only been 4.5 wars, so 30 and 4.5 wars is pretty good. But that's gonna be it. I don't really want to talk a lot, and it's already 10 p.m. I'm going to bed in like 20 minutes. I really just have to upload this video, make a thumbnail, make my description, and then go to bed. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys later. War 7 starts in for 16 hours, and yeah, I'm just really dead right now, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.